G'day, chaps. 'Tis I, Clumpbutcher139. 3 months later, and Batman Arkham Shadow just keeps getting better. The absolute goats over at Camouflaj Studios keep releasing update after update every month with no signs of slowing down, and they just released their biggest one yet. Version 1.3 released yesterday marks the introduction of Arkham Shadow New Game Plus, a staple of the Arkham series since Arkham City, and it did not disappoint. Every single encounter in the base game has been reworked with more, tougher enemies to create what is essentially a brand new experience from start to finish. I mean it when I say that every single encounter has been updated. They didn't leave a single section unaccounted for, which pretty much means that we're playing a brand new game. To address the elephant in the room, no, they did not remove counter indicators. And frankly, thank God they didn't, because this new game is hard. Seeing as every section basically has double the number of enemies, and on top of that has enemies with shields and SMGs in crazy abundance, Arkham Shadow has gone from a decently casual experience that you might get through with a few struggles to an absolute madhouse where you need to keep track of everything going on around you at every nanosecond, or else you're gonna get overwhelmed. And this includes bosses as well. Falcone is now even harder than before, with seemingly double the number of enemies as his base game fight, and much faster attacks from the man himself. The Shadow spawns during the Shadow Batman fight now gain weapons, while his attacks also come out much faster. And Bolton has suddenly gone from just a good fight to an absolute masterpiece of a boss battle. His attacks used to be easily telegraphed and memorized because of how simple they were. He did 3 chain swipes, and then he did the Tarzan swing. That was it. Now, he mixes everything together from all of his phases, keeping you on your toes for the entire fight because you never know what he's gonna throw out next. With just this one update, he easily became my favorite boss in the entire game. But really, props to the entire encounter design team. They were able to make every single one of these encounters difficult but still fair. That said, holy crap are some of these new encounters hard. But boy did they make this already amazing experience all the better. Well worth the 3-month wait. Although, one complaint I do have to address is that New Game Plus overrides your previously existing file. So when you start it, you can't go back to your original save. This isn't really a problem when you don't have anything else to do in that save, such as having a 100% completed file, but it should be mentioned ahead of time that this happens, or should start you in a brand new file like it did in all the other games. That said though, this edition means that you can replay New Game Plus as many times as you want without having to beat the whole game again, which is a much needed addition to help with challenge runs in the future. So for that, I thank you, Camouflaj. And I also thank you for these new points of interest that expand the lore of the world. Pretty much everywhere you look in this game, you'll see highlighted points of interest that you can scan in detective mode to give tiny lore drops about the world. They're not technically anything special, but they give lore, and lore is always cool. So, big thumbs up. However, easily their biggest addition in this update comes in the form of the brand new post-credit scene exclusive to beating the game on New Game Plus. If you haven't seen it yet, this is your spoiler warning. Skip ahead to the next timestamp if you don't want to hear any information on it, because I'm about to reveal in 3, 2, 1 that it's confirmed. The rat we fight in the projection room is none other than Dick Grayson. And much like every Arkham post-credits scene, it's not much, but it's also more than enough. We show back up at Shrike's apartment, this time as Bruce Wayne, and that rat we threw off the building is no longer wearing a mask. He's greeting us with open arms as Dick Grayson. I'll just let the scene play out and talk about it in a second.
Just a sec! It's you. I mean, I knew it'd be you, but not this you.
Well, the other me doesn't knock.
come on in. Well, this is it.
Nice. Y'all packed up?
Yeah. That's all I got.
Let me get it for you.
I can get that.
Shrike?
Carver. He was the only family I had after. But in the end, he was beyond saving.
No. Nobody is beyond saving. I know that much now. I'm sorry, kid. I lost a brother, too. How about you bring the picture with you? We'll put it up in your new room.
Thanks.
Just when I thought Batman's character arc couldn't have been wrapped up any better, they give us this. Perfectly cementing Batman's new state of mind where his main goal is to become a beacon of hope who saves, rather than a symbol of vengeance who punishes. He's finally taking Leslie's lessons to heart and believes that anybody can be saved, not just the good people. It's a great stepping stone for where this Batman goes in the future, where anyone can be redeemed. Technically speaking, he's just recruiting a former member of a terrorist organization to become his new son and sidekick. But that's okay, because he's learned from his mistakes and is going to make a better man out of himself in the future. I also think it's interesting that immediately upon greeting us, Dick acknowledges that he knows Bruce's other self, but that's all we get on the matter. Yeah, he knows. Why not? He had a few weeks to put the pieces together, and it's not really something we need an explanation for, so go for it. But I think the best part of this addition to Grayson's lore is that it gives him and Bruce an even stronger connection than they had in the first place. Before, it was just the collective loss of their parents. Bruce essentially saw himself in Dick when he was a young boy crying at the loss of his parents, and didn't want him to go through the same thing without a mentor. However, now they also share the loss of a brother. Bruce had Harvey in his life to support him, bring him up from his worst, and keep him on the path of good. But Harvey unfortunately fell, admittedly through no fault of his own due to his mental instability, leaving Bruce with just Alfred. Dick had Boone, aka Shrike, to get him through his tough times, but he also fell. Unlike Harvey though, Boone fell from his own choice. He chose to follow the Rat King and become a terrorist, and instead of taking accountability for his actions and bettering himself after the fact, he decided to end it all, leaving Dick completely alone. Carver was the closest thing to a brother Dick had for a long time, since even before the incident with his parents. And now, he doesn't have an Alfred to lean on like Bruce does. So Bruce needs to become his Alfred. It's such a great parallel that these two have been essentially going on the same story through their lives. And the bright light in the hallway as the two walk out, symbolizing the bright future ahead for both of these characters, despite the horrible events the two recently witnessed. Both losing their parents, and both losing their brothers. they're able to push through it and make better lives for themselves. And I just realized while writing this that there's a third parallel between them in that they forgive someone by the end of this story. Batman forgives Joe and lets him go after learning that he was a desperate man who made a terrible mistake. And Dick forgives Bruce for beating him up in the theater because he realized that it was a mistake to follow Shrike and the Rat King, and that Batman was ultimately doing the right thing in trying to stop him. Plus, being taken in by a billionaire can't hurt either, right? I can't wait to see what they have cooking up in the sequel department with these two, but I'm expecting great things. If it's anything like Robin's Reckoning, I'll be more than pleased. Okay, spoiler stuff done. Welcome back everyone who skipped. And guess what? New Game Plus isn't the only thing they added in this update. On top of even more bug fixes and overall enhancements, this update also introduced endless combat and Predator challenge maps. So on top of the 4 maps that we got in a previous update, that makes 6 brand new maps just through DLC. And we're still not done yet. I have it on good authority that we're getting another update in February with even more new content. I don't think I'm allowed to say what it is, but trust me, you will absolutely love it. And that's not to say the new maps we already have aren't amazing either. Just the fact that we're able to play infinite combat in Batman Arkham Shadow to begin with is mind-blowing enough. But we also got Endless Night on an actually good Predator map. Might I also add, for free? Camouflaj, what did we ever do to deserve you all? These maps are amazing and are just the final gorgeous topping on this already amazing update that makes it absolutely perfect. And with more updates on the horizon, I can only imagine what else they're cooking up to keep making this already masterpiece level game somehow even better. With that in mind, please do all of the YouTube stuff, because who the hell is It's the Freaking Bat? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later, chaps.
What you've done to my friends, to my city, you don't deserve mercy.